Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and I am now back from Canada Cup 2018. So there is some good stuff to say and some bad stuff to say. Before anything else, I know, and I kind of only found out after I kind of got done myself, with the whole tournament, that there's a bit of controversy going on with Canada Cup 2018. So I just want to preface anything I say before this. One, I did overall have fun with the event, so I do want to say that. And two, while I don't know him personally, I've only known Lapchi, the organizer of Canada Cup, to be a stand-up guy, and he kind of did a mea culpa at the end of Street Fighter V Top 8, saying he understands there was issues this year, and he's going to do his best to fix it next year. Not that, there was issues, let's put it that way. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm going to talk about the good stuff first, and we're going to back end with the bad stuff, because we got good and bad. So let's talk about the best overall thing that happened to me at Canada Cup 2018 is I got to meet a lot of you guys. I actually met a lot more people than I thought I would. A lot more people called me out than I thought I would. That's was kind of very surprising to me. And for all of you I talked to, thank you for making me feel like a much bigger deal and much more important person than I actually am. Because in the end, I'm just a fat guy in my apartment, right? But I do sincerely appreciate talking to everyone I talked to. I would want to play some casual matches, but we had a lot of problems with casual matches with for a variety of reasons we'll get to in the back end here, so couldn't really do that as much. But for everyone I did talk to, sincerely thank you very much. It was very nice and a pleasure to talk to everyone who came up to me. I'm just happy to know my work affects people, and I'm happy to know that my work it helps you get better fighting games. So hey, that's awesome. For if you're not aware, I did enter Soul Calibur 6 and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Soul Calibur 6 was actually the game I was hoping to do better in. I don't want to say tanked my chances at Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I definitely focused on Soul Calibur 6. Between, making the videos for YouTube, my practice time also went to Soul Calibur 6. So going in the Soul Calibur 6 tournament, I was actually fairly confident I was going to pick Ivy. And I actually did not in the end. I actually went with Nightmare, mostly because my training partner actually plays Raphael, and he kind of destroyed my confidence in Ivy's up close game really badly. So I figured, okay, well, Nightmare, while he's not up close game is not great, he's certainly better. And I kind of learned Nightmare the day before the tournament. But I got I didn't go 0-2 or nothing, right? I managed to beat a couple people before I went down. So it wasn't a complete failure. But yeah, it's a little disappointing in the end. And I know some of you guys were expecting me to play Astaroth. But honestly, where Astaroth's at the moment, I don't feel he's a great competitive character. So I kind of just skipped him over in favor of Ivy. And then, once again, I panicked and I went over to Nightmare. So during the tournament, I did have fun. I actually got to play Alex Valle. That was really cool. I've never met Alex Valle in person before. That was really neat. I did manage to get on stream for one game anyways. Was not on stream for any of the Dragon Ball stuff. My biggest foible was, this is going to happen with a game on week 1, right? I didn't know some of the matchups. I lost to a Sophidia player on stream. And it was a bit of a thing, not so much the match, because, hey, I lost fair and square, right? But my name was spelt wrong on stream, not once, but twice.
Rooflemonger is I've been actually watching his videos on YouTube actually to learn this game. He's a content creator.
Yeah?
Yes.
Content creator, okay. Character. She got something akin to a wave dash as well.
And nobody knew the shirt I was wearing. Which is fine, whatever. Yeah, during the match, it's obvious the dude had experience against Nightmare, and it was a fairly close set. But dude's edge and experience totally gave him the win, because I did not know half my moves were punishable by Angel Step B, and that really lost me the set. But goes to show, experience is what matters, right? Like, if you're familiar how to fight a character, and being week 1, I just kind of never fought any Sophidias. I just kind of had no idea, right? And I got my butt handed to me. And much the same, in the game that wound up knocking me out of the tournament, I fought a gentleman who played Siegfried. My understanding is apparently Siegfried's popular online, but not for me. I ran into the Talim and Killick army. I never actually ran into any Siegfried, so dude did a lot of stuff I've never seen before, and I just got stomped. But oh well. Now going on to Dragon Ball. Then I was kind of a little down myself after, I was kind of hoping I'd do quite well in Soul Calibur, actually. So honestly, considering I didn't play for Dragon Ball for over a week before the tournament, my first game in the tournament was like a week and 3 days since the last time I played, I just figured I was going to go 0-2. And I actually didn't do that bad. I believe I went 5-2. I looked at my bracket, and the people I was most scared of in the bracket were Dagura and Pinoy. And I actually managed to beat Pinoy, so that was pretty cool. Dagura, well, yeah, I lost. Hey, you know. The one thing that's a little frustrating with the loss, because I'm fine with the loss. That's totally okay, right? I even expected it, right? But during the whole tournament, my play was a little sloppy because once again, I didn't play for over a week. And my attempt to play casuals to warm up was a resounding failure, as once again, we'll talk about later on. I just had no opportunity to warm up. And, you know, I had quite a bit of drops, combos, and all that. And the big thing is with Dagura, even though I lost in the end, if it wasn't for like all the drop combos and everything and like just like me flubbing stuff, I feel it was a very winnable match. Now, not to guarantee I would have won or nothing, but it was very at least reassuring even though I lost. Dagura was not beyond me. Like I remember in early Street Fighter 4, I managed to, you know, I was lucky enough to play some top players at the time, and they rocked my world, and I'm just like, I got no chance against these guys. And against Dagura, I didn't have that feeling. If I was crisper, you know, if I was properly practiced up, which, you know, I wasn't because, you know, I was focusing on Soul Calibur, I feel like I could have done it, you know. No guarantees, but hey, that's them's the breaks, right? I got very close to getting out of the pool, but in the end, loss of Dagura kind of set me back. And the gentleman who actually knocked me out was a gentleman I beat earlier on, and he adapted very well and managed to beat me. And plus, at that point, he's playing actually a very frustrating Vegeta, which I should have played smart, but I didn't. I got a little frustrated, and hey, I lost. But hey, I still had fun. That's what matters. But just, hey, kids, seriously, practice before tournament. I was in a unique situation that my free time I spent on Soul Calibur, and my work time I spent on making videos for Soul Calibur, so I just simply had no time for Dragon Ball, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, with all that said, once again, I had fun playing my pools, you know. I didn't do as well as I hoped, but hey, that sucks. The one thing that really sucks is, you know, I'm not the kind of guy who gets to go to a lot of tournaments. I get to go to like 0 to 1 tournament every year. And yeah, I would love to attend every tournament I could, but it's literally just, you know, a matter of money, right? So generally speaking, if I'm lucky, I get to go to 1 tournament a year, and this was my 1 tournament, so hey, maybe next year. So when I lose at a tournament, you know, I feel I try to get a lot better, but then I don't have an outlet for it. And that's just a matter of the fact because, you know, it costs a lot of money to travel tournaments, and hey, I don't got it, but them's the breaks, right? But besides that, so let's talk about the more unfortunate aspects of Canada Cup. Once again, as a Canadian, I love Canada Cup. You know, it's our biggest tournament, right? I actually did not manage to attend Canada Cup 2017 because I was actually very broke at the time. But I did attend Canada Cup 2015 and 2016, and those are some of my favorite experiences ever. And as far as Canada Cup 2018 goes, I unfortunately cannot say the same. So a lot of the problems, if not really all the problems, stem not from the event itself, because they know what they're doing. But this year, it was tied with EGLX, which is a Canadian esports endeavor. Canada Cup was tied to the greater EGLX event. So the venue at hand was, you know, EGLX primarily, and, you know, he had like a lot of Fortnite stuff, you know, a lot of general esports stuff, gamer grab, all that kind of stuff, right? And Canada Cup was kind of shoved in the corner. So in previous years that I've went, you know, Canada Cup was the event itself. There's nothing else to share it with. There's a lot of room for everything to breathe. And we had basically no room at all. It was very, very frustrating on multiple levels. For example, hopefully I don't carry myself as like a rude person or anything, but during my quest to help get my friend into his Soul Calibur pools, I literally had to physically manhandle and shove people out of the way because that was the only way we were getting there in a reasonable time. Because hopefully I'm splicing in some video or something just to show. But it was unreasonably packed, and it's not the fault of anyone there. It's just simply there was not enough room. So just trying to get to a small alley to play your pool game, and there's too many people there because everyone's trying to play a pool game. Plus, you know, people want to see their friends play, and people want to play casuals, and there's not really any room for casuals. And it was just a big to-do. The whole Canada Cup part of the event needed so much more room than it actually got. And in previous years when Canada Cup was its own event, well, hey, we had the room. And that's just one of many problems. So when it comes to pool management, right? my Soul Calibur pool, it probably took me a better part of 4 hours to play like 4 games. I literally went in a period of 3.5 hours. I got to play 2 games in my Dragon Ball pool. 2 games in 3.5 hours, and that's just utterly absurd. We were only given 2 setups for the entirety of the pool, and the pools were overstuffed. The buy bracket literally had more people than in the normal bracket, which is absolutely absurd because there should have been more pools. And yeah, it just took so much. Like the guy who running my pool, and like I don't blame the guy running my pool. Like he was so stressed out and all that trying to get everything going because he had so little resources to work with. He literally got himself DQ'd from Street Fighter because he couldn't run the pool and play Street Fighter because everything was being so mismanaged due to the small amount of space. And it just kind of went on that way from there. The venue normally closes at 8 o'clock. This is the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And, you know, we're there past there. And I had people literally trying to kick us out when pools aren't even done yet. Like, the rest of the convention is over. And, like, we're not even begun to get going. Because, you know, just everything's running so slow because we have too much space. We don't have enough setups. And we don't have enough anything, right? And there's literally event staff from the EGLX side / the building side trying to kick the players out. And that's just absolutely absurd. And it only got worse on Saturday when there's more people. Like, then all of a sudden, you know, it's Dragon Ball pools and Street Fighter pools, right? Not like some of the smaller games. So it's just, it was a calamity, to say the least. It was just, once again, I don't think it was foreseen how this would turn out. The biggest problem is the lack of both setups and space available. There had to be a casual room set up off-site in a different hotel that's not part of that building. And at least in my attempts to go to the casual room, it was completely empty. So I don't know if enough people knew about it or not, but in my attempts to go there, it was fully empty each time. And there was like no way to play casuals because we didn't even have enough setups to play pool. So how in the world could you play casuals? It was just quite frustrating. And some stuff like on the finals day, right? I woke up a little bit later. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head over to watch, you know, Dragon Ball Top 8, and I'll watch, you know, Street Fighter 5 Top 8. And then turns out like I already missed Dragon Ball Top 8 because Dragon Ball Top 8 had happened at 11, which is crazy. And I can only assume it happened because the venue said guys gotta be out by 8 o'clock, and that's it, we're done. So yeah, we got there. So I'm like, okay, at least I'll watch Street Fighter Top 8. Street Fighter Top 8 did not happen until like 2.5 hours after the promised time. It was supposed to start at 3 o'clock, and that definitely did not happen. Third Strike for Top 8 was really fun to watch, so don't get me wrong, hey, that was actually really fun. I had a lot of fun, especially watching like Anuki and MOV, you know, hacking at it. But everything was running late. During the Street Fighter Top 8, we didn't even run all the matches. My understanding was it wasn't even streamed. So we got to see it live, but like I didn't get to see Punk on stage. That happened off stream somewhere. Partway through the tournament, near the end, the site is trying to like cut the feed basically, and the screens start going blue. At that point, like literally everyone's like rushing up just to watch Tokido play on like his actual setup, like the actual monitor he's playing on. That's what we're trying to watch, because that was the only way we had to watch the actual match at that point, because the screen's cut out. They eventually got it back in, but yeah. And then once again, like I said, my understanding was after the fact they didn't even run the stream as it is. They record it and run it after because everything went bad, and the venue was so hopped up on getting us out of there that like there's literally construction crews and people rolling up carpet during like grand finals of Street Fighter, which is, it's just crazy. So once again, there's nothing against Lapchi. I know from everything I know of him, he seems like a stand-up guy. I understand that once the ball started rolling, a lot of that was out of his hands fully. But I can only and sincerely hope that Canada Cup will not be tied to EGLX next year. As every event I've been to or heard of that's tied to EGLX kind of winds up being a train wreck. So I'd really rather just go back to a hotel and they get a ballroom or something. And as the final poor capper, it is now the second time I've gone to Toronto this year, and it is the second time I've had my stuff stolen. I had my laptop stolen from me, my laptop bag with my laptop in it, as I sat down at the Razer booth trying out their Dragon Ball Fighters arcade sticks. And hey, they were good arcade sticks. They were good builds, good models, Awesome, right? And then I sit back up. Okay, go pick up my bag, and it's gone. So I'm out one laptop. And yeah, that's just the real kick in the balls for the whole weekend. It was kind of my sincere hope I'd be able to get out of debt by the end of the year, and now that I gotta buy another laptop, that's not gonna happen. So yeah. So in the end, it's a disappointing weekend. I guess we're good to like laptoping, so I definitely changed that, right? But someone yanked it from my feet while I was playing on their setup, so I didn't even notice. But anyways, I don't regret going. I'm sure I regret my stuff getting stolen, right? But I don't regret going. I'm still very glad to have met the people I've met. It was a pleasure to meet all of you. I will be at next year's Canada Cup, straight up. I believe in Lapchi when the event will be better next year, so I will be there next year. As long as I'm not broke. But yeah, so highs and lows to say the least. And yeah, so that's kind of the trip report. I know some people are like, are gonna be scared off Canada Cup events, and I would say please don't be. I have full confidence Lapchi when he says next year will be better, and if it's not, then I will swear off Canada Cup, but I will be going next year, as long as I am able to. But yeah, so that's my experience. So I know Canada Cup was kind of deemed as a, quote unquote train wreck by some people. But it wasn't all downsides. But yeah, it was not the best run event I've ever been to. But I do hope to go forward to the future. And, yeah, I guess that's it for this video. So, for all you watching, thanks for bearing with me this whole time. I guess I was a little bit rambly. I'm sorry. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball, play some Soul Calibur, play some Street Fighter. I finally get to play Red Dead. I haven't really got to play Red Dead yet. I know everyone's all crazy for it, so I'll finally get to do that. And I'll see you later.